key layers that make up a residential roof system are the OSB sheathing is what's on top of your house. That's the wood, that's the substrate that we're gonna be walking on. That's what we're gonna, nail everything to. Then you're gonna have your ice and water. We're gonna have 2 rows of that. That is a self-adhered underlayment it's gonna stick directly to that OSB decking. That's gonna be down at the eaves, right where your gutter is gonna go, and in any valleys or penetration areas, of course, as well. Then we're gonna have a synthetic underlayment that's gonna go on the rest of the house. And then we're gonna do a row of starter, your gutter apron and drip edge, and then your asphalt shingles, and then any hip and ridge cap as well to finish off the rest of the roof. Ice and water shield is important, especially in colder climates, because obviously you're gonna have ice and water dams. What ice and water does, it's a self-adhered, it's got a sticky underlayment, it's gonna stick directly to the substrate. It's gonna prevent any type of water or moisture backing up underneath that shingle. If water gets underneath that shingle and starts to work its way uphill underneath the shingle backwards, it's gonna hit that ice and water and it's gonna stop. It has nowhere to get in, and it's eventually gonna work its way back out. That's what the ice and water is there for, to protect any type of ice damming, any water from getting into that house. Colder climates, where you're gonna have a lot of freezing, you're gonna have more ice dams, and that's a lot higher risk of those types of things in those areas. It's extremely important that you have those in any of those areas, up against wall flashings, valleys, and along the eaves. Roof flashing is so important for preventing any type of water getting inside the home, especially like around chimneys. The reason you have a step flashing going up against a chimney is a lot of guys will just butt their shingles up to a chimney and maybe just caulk that edge. Well, that's gonna be a preventative maintenance thing. You're gonna have to constantly go up there every 6 months, every year, and re-caulk that edge. That's gonna fail. If you have a step flashing going up that brick edge, no water can get inside. It can't get between the asphalt shingle and that chimney. Then up against that step flashing, then we're gonna also put a counter flashing on top of that to keep water from getting behind that step flashing. We're gonna cut in a reglet. Actually, we'll cut in a 1/4 inch inside that brick, and inset that counter flashing, so it's actually inset inside that brick, and then that's caulked and sealed inside that as well, so it's all kind of one within that chimney. That way it's all flashed, completely and watertight and solid with the chimney and the counter flashing all as one. Ridge cap and ventilation are both extremely important for every home. The ridge cap is going to tie, your facets together. You have to have those. That's what's going to tie that's going to tie the peak together, keep any water from getting into the home. That's extremely important. So with ventilation, it's very important that a roof has an intake vent and an exhaust vent to keep the attic air to be able to have movement and keep everything moving inside the attic, to keep the shingles from blistering. You don't want to have the attic have way too much heat trapped inside the attic for any of those types of issues.